Hello everybody and welcome to my 8th Visual Basic 2010 tutorial. This tutorial is going to show you how to use strings. So what is a string? So little history lesson. Back in the old days of computers, you used to have characters which were just one variable per letter. So you'd have a variable and it would hold an L or an M and a C, which was useful, but when you wanted to have sentences, you needed to piece these characters together. There used to be kind of programs that would do all that. You'd have to write it in, and it would be quite lengthy. So what they've decided to put in pretty much every code there is out there is a variable called string. So what a string is essentially just a series of characters put together to form either a word or a sentence, or just any kind of random combination of figures. But in order to use these, so you reference them the same way as before. So dim, and then the name of our variable. So my string, I'm going to go for, and then as string. And so this gives us now a placeholder in the memory of our computer that can hold a piece of text. So we can just use this the same way as we were using our numbers one. So my string equals, and then you can just type text, but in order to make it a string, you need to put it between two speech marks. So the speech marks just say, "Hey, look at me, I'm a string." So look at me, I'm a string. And make sure you put in random punctuation, because otherwise it won't work. I'm only kidding. Of course it'll work. If you're going to put in random punctuation for like me, if you put in another speech mark, then just make sure you put in a second speech mark straight away, because if you put in one, then it's going to go, "Oh, look at me, I'm the end of a string," and then this bit's not going to know what it is, and then it's going to error. So if you want to put in a speech mark, just put in two speech marks. Just a quick tip. So then we can do what we want with this. So I'm going to write it into our workbook. So this workbook dot sheets sheet 1. And if you don't know what I'm doing here, then go back and watch my earlier tutorials. And so let's just put it in cell 1 and into the value of it, and then we can just make this equal to my string. And then if we press play on this and then go back into our workbook, and that's not our workbook, go across, then boom, it's being written in, "Look at me, I'm a string." So it's written it right in. What we can also do with this is you can add two strings together. So let's create another one. So dim my string 2 as string, and then let's just make my string 2 equals, "Look at me, I'm a second string." And then let's just put these together. So my string equals my string. And then you don't use plus in these circumstances, you use an ampersand. So the ampersand is what we call a concatenation. So we can then concatenate this with another string. Concatenation just meaning to join together. So it's going to take this string and it's going to add it to this string, and then it's going to put it back into my string. So I think I might have shown you this before, but with numbers. But you can actually assign a variable to itself after modifying it, and then it's going to change the value of the one that you're using in the first place. So it's going to start off as "Look at me, I'm a string," and then you're going to add it onto it, "Look at me, I'm a second string." So let's press play, and go back into here, and then you notice that it's put in, look at me, I'm a string, and then look at me, I'm a second string. I don't know why I'm putting on weird accents for this tutorial, but I'm hoping you all like it. So that's how you'd combine strings together. Sorry, just had to have a little cough there. So you can also, with your strings, you don't have to just have the variables. We can put in the middle, we can put something else. So put another string here. So look at me, I'm a string in the middle. And then strings, not only do they take letters, but they take white space as well. So if we put some spaces in between these, and then press play, and then go back into our workbook, and then you notice now that it's added in, not only added in that string in the middle, but it's also added in the little spaces either side. So we could get rid of this, and our string could just contain a white space like this. But this isn't actually going to just put in nothing, it's going to put in the white space that we've added. So look at me, I'm a second string, with a space in the middle. So that's how you can put multiple strings together, and you can use them in the same way we've used them before. You can put them in a message box, you can take them from a input box, and you can put the value into your string. So you can ask them a question, like ask their gender or something like that, or ask their name, and then you can stick it in, and you can put it wherever you want. So that's going to be it for this tutorial. That's how you set up your strings. In the next tutorial, I'm going to show you a couple of formulas that you can use with strings in order to kind of cut them up, mix them up, stick them together. So thanks for listening, and I hope to catch you in the next tutorial.